gifted our ears with those unforgettable Filipino melodies? Well, hold on to your headphones because we're diving straight into the vibrant world of our national artists for music. Get ready to meet the maestros who shape our soundscape and continue to inspire generations.
Levi Salario was born on April 30, 1910 in Tondo, Manila. He studied at the Academy of Music in Manila, now the UP College of Music, under the guidance of great mentors like Nicanor Abelardo. He began his career as a violinist with the Manila Symphony Orchestra, but after a wrist injury, he shifted his focus to composing music, a move that would define his legacy. Salario played a major role in shaping Filipino music from 1930s onward. He wrote lyrics for many iconic songs including Ang Pasko Ay Sumapit, a beloved Christmas carol. He also contributed to the Kundiman tradition with songs like Bituing Marikit, Kahit Konting Pagtingin, Dahil sa Isang Bulaklak. His work extended into Philippine cinema, especially during its golden age between 1930s and 1980s, where his music added emotional depth to many films. Levi Salario's talent earned him both national and international recognition. First is Guinness World Record for playing 88 songs on a leaf, a unique wind instrument technique. Second, he was named as National Artist for Music in 1997 by Fidel V. Ramos. Third, he was the first Filipino musician to join the Philippine Legion of Honor in 1996. Fourth, he was honored by UNESCO International Music Council in 1989. And that is Levi Salario.
Ang Pasko ay sumapit, tayo ay mangagsiawit ng magagandang himig, dahil sa ang Diyos ay pag-ibig, nang si Kristo'y isilang, may 3 haring nagsidalaw, bawat isa ay nagsipaghandog ng tanging alay. Bagong taon ay magbagong buhay, nang lumigaya ang ating bayan. Tayo'y magsikap upang makamtan natin ng kasaganan.
Now, let me present to you Hernani Johnson Cuenco. Hernani Cuenco was born on May 10, 1936 in Malolos, Bulacan and passed away on June 11, 1988. He studied at the University of Santo Tomas Conservatory of Music, where he later became a faculty member, nurturing future generations of musicians. He began his career as a pianist and composer, eventually making his mark in the world of film music. Cuenco was a key figure during the golden age of Philippine cinema between 1960s and 1980s. He composed scores for notable films such as Nagsimula sa Puso. He also wrote several iconic songs that remain beloved today, Gaano Kita Kamahal, a heartfelt love ballad, Bato sa Buhangin, a song about the fragility of love, Pilipinas Kong Mahal, a patriotic anthem often performed at national events. Cuenco is also credited in modernizing traditional kundiman, a romantic Filipino serenade, by blending it with orchestral arrangements, making it more accessible to modern audiences while preserving its emotional depth. Hernani Cuenco's contribution earned him numerous awards. First is the National Artist for Music in 1999, the highest cultural honor in the Philippines. Next, the multiple famous awards for Best Musical Scores in Filipino films. And lastly, his music became a cultural staple, influencing TV, radio, live performances across generations. And that is Hernani Josod Cuenca.
Ikaw lang ang aking ibigin ang pag-ibig ko sa'yo ay tunay. Nais ko sanang patunayan, huwag ka nang mag-alinlangan. Ang pag-ibig ko'y hindi kukupas, tulad din ng umagang may
Jose Maceda, born on January 31, 1917 in Manila, was a visionary Filipino musician, composer, ethnomusicologist, and educator. While initially trained as concert pianist in Europe and the United States, his passion shifted toward discovering and perceiving the music heritage of the Philippines. His life work elevated indigenous Filipino music to international recognition and shaped the soundscape of modern Filipino composer. As a child, Maceda was deeply drawn to music and displayed early talent in piano. He pursued formal music education in the United States and France, eventually performing as a concert pianist. However, he later realized that the true soul of Filipino music lay not in Western symphonies, but in raw, deeply rooted tradition of country's indigenous community. Upon his return to the Philippines, Maceda was captivated by the native sounds he heard in remote villages and mountain tribes. These tradition songs, passed down orally for generations, inspired him to travel across the archipelago to record, analyze, and preserve them. His work laid the foundation of ethnomusically in the Philippines. Some of the notable works and where Maceda became famous is Ugma Ugma, marked Maceda's transition from Western classical music to experimental Filipino soundscape. Pagsamba, a large-scale composition involving over 100 performing using native instrument and chant, focusing on Filipino spiritual themes, performed in church-like settings, highlighted community participation in ritual in music. Udlot Udlot, a participatory work involving non-musicians performing on bamboo instruments, often staged in open spaces, breaking the boundaries between performers and the audience. Jose Maceda was proclaimed National Artist of Music in 1997 in the following contribution. Maceda was pioneered ethnomusical research in the Philippines, dedicating his life to documenting traditional music from indigenous communities. Advocating for cultural preservation and native music tradition, raising awareness of their value among scholars, artists, and the public. Influenced generations of musicians, composers, and cultural works to explore and embrace Filipino heritage.
Dagat ang nag-uugnay sa pulong hiwa-hiwalay, Pilipinas ang bayan ko, sabihin mong isa tayo. Iba't ibang wika, magkaibang pananaw, iba't ibang ugali sa ilalim ng araw. Subalit tingnan mo, dagat ang nag-uugnay sa pulong hiwa-hiwalay, Pilipinas ang bayan ko, sabihin mo, isa isa tayo. Hilaga o katimugan, silangan o kanluran, magkaibang kasaysayan, ugaling kinakisnan. Subalit tingnan mo, dagat ang nag-uugnay sa pulong hiwa-hiwalay. Pilipinas ang bayan ko, sabihin ko, isa tayo. Isang ating bandila, isang ating bansa, iisang ating libing, lahing kayumanggi, bayang linimiti. Dagat ang nag-uugnay sa pulong hiwa-hiwalay. Pilipinas ang bayan ko, sabihin mo, isa tayo.
Antonio Jesus Molina was a distinguished Philippine composer, conductor, music administrator, and educator, born in Quiapo, Manila. He was instrumental in shaping Philippine music and integrating Western classical traditions with indigenous Philippine music elements. Molina innovates approach and dedication to music educate earned him the title of National Artist of Music in 1973. Molina was born into a musical family. His father founded the Molina Orchestra. He pursued his early education at Escuela Católica de Ernesto Padre Jesus Nazareno and later obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree from San Juan de Latran in 1909. His exposure to music at a young age laid the foundation for his future contribution to the Philippine music. Molina's career was marked by his effort to elevate Philippine music beyond folk tradition. He was known for introducing impressionist themes into his composition, earning him the moniker Claude Debussy of the Philippines. His work often combined Eastern modal scales with Western harmonic structures, and he was among the first Filipino composers to incorporate native instrument with Westerns. Some of Molina's notable works is Hating Gabi, Ang Batingaw, awit ni Maria Clara that songs capture the essence of Filipino identity inspired by the character of Jose Rizal in novel, and Miss Antonia Grand Festival Mass, one of his significant orchestral work demonstrating his skills in large-scale composition. Molina was a dedicated music educator at University of the Philippine Conservatory of Music and later served as the Dean of Central Escolar University Conservatory of Music. He mentored numerous students who would become prominent figures of Philippine music, including national artists Lusqueta Casig and Felipe Padilla de Leon. Antonio J. Molina was conferred in the title of National Artist in Music in 1973 due to his significant contribution to the Philippine music. His innovative integration of indigenous themes with Western classical forms created a unique Filipino music identity. As an educator, he influenced generations of musicians, thereby shaping the country's music landscape.
Do you want to hear a cool story about a super talented Filipino musician named Lucio San Pedro? He's an artist born in 1913 in the town of Angon, Rizal. This kid loved music so much, and guess what? he was already wielding the majestic pipes of the Angono church organ. Pretty amazing, right? He went to the University of the Philippines to learn even more about music and further honed his skills at the renowned Juilliard School in New York. Now, Lucio San Pedro or Mangustin wasn't just about hymns. His musical imagination was a fiesta. He penned everything from sweet lullabies like the iconic Sa Ugoy ng Duyan to grand orchestral pieces bursting with Filipino spirit like Lahing Kayumangi, a powerful musical painting of our rich heritage. He even wrote the official March of Makati. These guys' tunes were catchy, clever, and undeniably Filipino. But why did this man become a national artist in 1991? It's simple. Lucio San Pedro didn't just compose music. He wove the very soul of the Philippines into his melodies. He championed what he called creative nationalism, capturing the essence of being Filipino not just by using folk songs directly, but by infusing his work with our unique spirit and character. He made our hearts sing with pride. His dedication to developing band music nationwide also created opportunities for countless young musicians. So, for giving us a soundtrack to our identity and nurturing musical talent, Lucio San Pedro truly earned his place as national artist.
Sana'y di magmaliw ang dati kong araw nang munti pang bata sa piling ni nanay. Nais kong maulit ang awit ninang mahal, awit ng pag-ibig habang ako'y nasa duyan. Sana'y di magmaliw ang dati kong araw nang munti pang bata sa piling ni nanay.
Oh, you're back! Well, good news! I've got another cool story about musical adventurer named Ramon Santos. He's an artist that comes from the city of Pasig and was born on February 25, 1941. This was just any other kid. He had super ears that loved all sorts of sound. He wasn't happy just listening to regular songs. He wanted to know how the sound worked together. So, he went to a lot of music schools, even flying to other countries to learn from the best music teachers in the world. Imagine going on a musical field trip that big. Now, Mang Ramon didn't write songs he could always sing along to right away. His music was more like a fun puzzle of sounds. He loved to try new things and mix different sounds together. Think of it like a musical chef, trying out surprising ingredients. He created a masterpiece called Ding Ding Nga Diyawa. It's like an ancient Filipino gongs having a super cool conversation with modern music. It makes you want to listen closely to all the different ringing sounds. Then, there's Nabasag na Banga, which sounds like a broken clay pot, but in a beautiful musical way. It uses different sounds to tell a story without any words. Next up, we have Albat. It's a piece for a big instruments, and it's like a journey through different soundscapes. You might hear quiet whispers and then sudden bursts of energy. It keeps our ears guessing what will happen next. So why did this sound explorer become a national artist in 2014? Well, Ramon Santos wasn't just making music. He was showing everyone that Filipino music could be anything you wanted to be. He took our own music and made it exciting and new for the whole world. He told other Filipino musicians that they don't be afraid to try new things with our music. He was like musical leader, showing us new paths to take with our own sounds because he was so brave and creative with music and inspired so many others. He totally deserved to be national artist. His music is still making people think and say, "Wow, what was that?" It reminds us that music can be a big adventure. Even though I can't move to the beat, maybe you can go and listen to some of his wonderful creations.
Let me introduce you to Felipe Padilla de Leon, one of the most iconic Filipino composers in history. He was born on May 1, 1912 in Peñaranda, Nueva Ecija, and grew up in a poor but hard-working family. Even as a child, Felipe showed amazing musical talent. He taught himself how to play instruments like the violin, trombone, and piano. At first, he studied fine arts at the University of the Philippines, but eventually followed his true passion and shifted to music. He earned a degree in composition at UP Conservatory of Music. His love for Filipino culture became the foundation of his musical style. De Leon was known for creating music that reflected Filipino identity and values, especially during times of hardship. A turning point in his career was during World War II, when he composed music to uplift the Filipino spirit. One of his most famous works from his period is Payapang Daigdig, a peaceful Christmas song written after the destruction of Manila. He also composed two full-length operas based on Jose Rizal's novels, Noli Me Tangere in 1957 and El Filibusterismo in 1970. These works promoted nationalism and pride in our culture by blending classical music with Filipino themes. Felipe de Leon was not only a composer but also a cultural leader. He served as director of the Cultural Center of the Philippines and the Philippine Folk Arts Theater. In recognition of his lifelong dedication to Filipino music, he was declared a National Artist for Music in 1997. He also helped preserve our national heritage by translating the Philippine National Anthem into different Filipino languages and was honored through schools and awards named after him. Felipe de Leon will always be remembered as a powerful symbol of musical patriotism.
Ako'y Pilipino,
Now let's talk about another musical legend, Francisco Feliciano. He was born on February 19, 1941 in Morong, Rizal, and was raised in a musical family. His father was a band leader. Inspired by this, Francisco began learning various instruments and developed a deep love for music early on. He studied composition at the University of the Philippines, then continued his music education abroad. He earned a master's degree from the Hochschule für Musik in Germany, and later on, completed a doctorate in music composition from Yale University in the United States. Francisco Feliciano was known for blending Filipino indigenous music and spirituality with modern techniques. He believed that music should connect us to our cultural and spiritual roots. This belief inspired him to create powerful compositions based on rituals, chants, and native stories. Some of his famous works include La Loba Negra in 1984, a historical opera based on colonial times, Pamugun, a choral work inspired by indigenous chants, Pokpok Alimpako, a popular piece reflecting Mindanaoan music traditions. Through these works, Feliciano brought Filipino music to the global stage. Francisco Feliciano was also a passionate music educator and conductor. He founded the Asian Institute for Liturgy and Music, where he trained church musicians across Asia and promoted liturgical music. He represented the Philippines in international music festivals and worked with major orchestras around the world. In 2014, he was named National Artist for Music for his exceptional contributions to Filipino culture. His legacy lives on in the many students he mentored and in the music that continues to inspire generations.
Andrea Afiliada Veneracion was born on July 11, 1928 in Manila. She was a renowned Filipino choral conductor and music educator. She is best known for founding the Philippine Madrigal Singers in 1963. It is a group that gained international acclaim for its unique style and musical excellence. A graduate of the UP Conservatory of Music and trained abroad, Veneracion combined global techniques with Filipino artistry. Her group won top prizes in major international competitions and helped bring Filipino choral music to the world stage. She also organized choral workshops and festivals that shaped generations of Filipino musicians. In recognition of her immense contributions, she was named National Artist for Music in 1999. Her legacy lies in raising the standard of Philippine choral music, mentoring young artists, and promoting Filipino musical heritage globally.
Antonio Jesus Ramon Buenaventura was born on May 4, 1904 in Bulacan. He was a prominent Filipino composer, conductor, and educator. He was instrumental in preserving and modernizing Filipino folk music, earning the title National Artist for Music in 1988. Trained at the UP Conservatory of Music and in the US, he combined Western classical techniques with Filipino musical traditions. A major turning point in his career was his collaboration with Francisca Reyes Aquino in collecting and arranging folk songs for schools, an effort that preserved key elements of Filipino culture. Some of his notable works include Pandango sa Ilaw and the Philippine Army March. He also led major institutions like the UP Conservatory of Music and the Philippine Constabulary Band. Buenaventura is remembered for his patriotic compositions, his leadership and music education, and his lifelong commitment to Filipino cultural heritage. Jovita Fuentes was the first Filipina who gained the international acclaim as an opera singer, earning the title of the First Lady of the Philippine Music. She debuted in Italy in 1925 as Shosho Sanz Puccini's Madame Butterfly, and performed major roles in Europe, US, in the Philippines, and also in Mimi La Boheme and Salome in Richard Strauss opera. Beyond performing, she was a dedicated music educator at the University of the Philippines and other institutions. Fuentes also founded key musical organizations like Asociación Musical de Filipinas, the Music Promotion Foundation of the Philippines, advocating the Filipino music and opera. Recognition of her pioneering contribution and leadership in the Philippine music, she was named the first female national artist for music in 1976. Her legacy includes elevating Filipino talents in global stage and fostering development of music in the country. Ryan Cayabyab, born on May 4, 1954, is a celebrated Filipino musician, composer, and conductor, widely regarded as a pillar of original Filipino music or OPM. He graduated from the University of the Philippines College of Music and later taught there for about 2 decades. His works span full-length ballets, theater musicals, choral pieces, orchestral compositions, film scores, and popular songs, notably composing the famous The Coconut Song. Cayabyab served as executive and artistic director of the San Miguel Foundation for the Performing Arts, promoting Filipino music and artists. He has performed internationally and collaborated with renowned artists, bridging classical and popular Filipino music. He was named National Artist of the Philippines for Music in 2018, honored for his vast contributions to the Philippine music culture, his role in shaping the OPM scene, and his dedication to nurturing Filipino musical talent. In summary, Ryan Cayabyab is a national artist because of his prolific and diverse musical works, his influence on Filipino music, and his leadership in promoting and preserving the country's musical heritage.
The coconut nut is a giant nut. If you eat too much, you get very fat. Now, the coconut nut is a big, big nut, but this delicious nut is not a nut. It's the cocoa fruit. It's the cocoa fruit of the cocoa tree. From the cocoa palm family. There are so many uses of the coconut tree. You can build a bigger house for the family. All you need is to find the coconut man. If he cuts the tree, he gets the fruits free. It's the cocoa fruit. It's the cocoa fruit of the cocoa tree. Of the cocoa tree. From the cocoa palm family. Coconut, coconut, the coconut bark for the kitchen floor. If you save some of it, you can build a door. Now the coconut trunk, do not throw this junk. If you save some of it, you'll have a second floor. The coconut wood is very good. It can stand 20 years if you pray it would. Now the coconut root, to tell you the truth, you can throw it or use it as firewood. The coconut leaves good shade it gives for the roof, for the walls, up against the eaves. Now the coconut fruit, say my relatives, make good cannonballs up against the thieves. It's the cocoa fruit. It's the cocoa fruit of the cocoa tree. Of the cocoa tree. From the cocoa palm family. The coconut nut is a giant nut. If you eat too much, you get very fat. Now the coconut nut is a big, big nut, but this delicious nut is not a nut. The coconut nut is a giant nut. If you eat too much, you get very fat. Now the coconut nut is a big, big nut, but this delicious nut is not a nut. It's the cocoa fruit. It's the cocoa fruit of the cocoa tree. Of the cocoa tree. From the cocoa palm family. It's the cocoa fruit. It's the cocoa fruit of the cocoa tree. Of the cocoa tree. From the cocoa palm family. It's the cocoa fruit. It's the cocoa fruit of the cocoa tree. Of the cocoa tree. From the cocoa palm family.
classics to groundbreaking compositions. The legacy of our national artists for music resonates deeply within the Filipino soul. Their dedication and artistry have enriched our cultures in ways that words can hardly capture. So, let their music continue to inspire and move you long after our journey here today.